All right, let's dive into a screenwriting concept that is, well, it's a total game changer. It's this idea that every single scene you write should feel like it's both the beginning and the end of your story. I know, sounds weird, right? Let's unpack how that's even possible.
So here it is, the central challenge for any serious screenwriter. How in the world do you take just one scene, one single moment, and manage to pack the entire weight and meaning of the whole script into it? It sounds completely impossible, doesn't it? But believe it or not, this is the secret to writing a screenplay that feels tight, powerful, and whole from start to finish.
And that brings us to our first big idea. Every scene is the whole story. It's a paradox, for sure, this idea that a tiny part can contain the whole thing, but it is the absolute foundation of a truly great, tightly woven script.
So what does this whole idea really mean? Well, think of it like this. Scene 1 doesn't just lead you to Scene 2. It has to contain the DNA of Scene 2 and Scene 3 and every other scene all the way to the end. Each little piece has to echo the entire story, giving the whole thing this incredible feeling of unity right from the very first page.
Okay, to make this a little more real, just picture the very first scene of a screenplay. We'll call it Scene 001. It's the beginning of everything. Or is it?
You see, a professional writer sees that scene totally differently. To them, Scene 001 isn't just one thing. It's more like a fractal. It has all these smaller moments inside of it, these little sub-scenes that hint at the past and foreshadow everything that's about to happen. It's the entire story just compressed into one powerful moment. And that, right there, is the job. Your goal is to make the other 119 scenes of your story somehow felt in the one scene you're writing right now. It doesn't matter if it's the first scene, the last, or one smack in the middle. The entire story has to be alive in that moment. Okay, so how is this actually possible? I mean, how do you pull off a magic trick like that? Well, it all comes down to one single critical and honestly surprisingly simple element. The answer is tone. That's it. Tone is the great unifier. It's the emotional, atmospheric glue that holds your whole screenplay together. If you can keep the tone consistent, then any single scene can act as a perfect little sample of the entire film.
And this is why tone is just so incredibly powerful. When it's consistent, it unifies the entire script, making it feel like a single, cohesive work of art. It creates this seamless experience for the audience, and it makes sure they're never pulled out of the story just because a scene feels, off.
Okay, so we know what the solution is. It's tone. But how do we actually create it? How do we maintain it from page 1 to page 120? Well, there's a really practical, character-driven tool for that. The how is all about your character's actions. Seriously, the way your main character behaves, the choices they consistently make, their go-to reactions. When that behavior is consistent from the very first scene to the last, it becomes the absolute bedrock of your screenplay's tone.
It's like a direct chain reaction, you see? Step 1, your character acts in a consistent way. Step 2, that consistent action builds and maintains a unified tone. And step 3, that tone is what binds the entire screenplay into one solid, powerful story. Simple as that.
And the stakes here are really high, because if even one single scene breaks that consistency, if just one moment feels out of place, the whole spell is broken. The audience feels it instantly, even if they can't quite put their finger on why. That connection you worked so hard for, it's gone. So all of this leads to a pretty fundamental shift in how a writer should really approach their work. It stops being about just writing one scene after another. It becomes something much, much bigger. Let's just compare these two ways of thinking. The old mindset is, okay, I'm writing scene 5, then I'll write scene 6. But the new mindset, the professional one, is understanding that you are writing 120 first scenes and 120 last scenes, all at the same time. Every scene has to have the explosive energy of a beginning and the satisfying weight of an ending. And look, this isn't just some clever little mental trick. When you adopt this mindset, it forces every single scene you write to be deeply, deeply connected to your story's main themes and its overall structure. Nothing is wasted. Every single moment reinforces the whole. So let's end with this, a kind of mantra for any storyteller out there. The writer must always recognize the meaning of writing 120 first scenes and 120 last scenes, because that's how you create something more than just a sequence of events. That's how you create a single, unforgettable story. The real question is, what story is waiting inside your first and last scene?